Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Hema Ramkissoon, and welcome to the CNC3 Early Morning Show. It is a beautiful Friday morning. Thank God it's Friday. If you're like me and you have to get up extremely early every morning to get to work, you always look forward to Friday because you really think that that's the end of your week. Sometimes the weekend is filled with chores and a lot of activities, so no rest for the wicked, I guess. This morning, as is customary, we're going to keep you updated with all that's happening in our country. We're going to be linking up with the Secretary General of the Sanathan Dharam Mahasabha, Sat Maharaj, to find out his thoughts on the situation, the destruction of the camp. Now, it's interesting when the state, religion, and politics all become intertwined, and this is what's happening as it relates to that activity. A number of slurs, racial slurs, religion was even used. We're seeing quotes from the Hindu holy book, the Ramayana, quotes from the Bible being flung all over, and even the Quran as it relates to this protest action. Many government ministers yesterday came out in support of Jack Warner, but calls are intensifying for his removal. Are they justified? Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj says the state erred in their decision to do the destruction activity, but several members of the legal fraternity are saying it's not so. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter at Hema_Ramkissoon. I look forward to tweeting with you. You can also check me on Facebook, so we look forward to fielding all of your questions. This morning, we will be speaking on set with former Prime Minister Basdeo Panday, former political leader of the United National Congress. It'll be interesting to find out his thoughts on all that is happening in the government 2.5 years on. Earlier this week, Mr. Panday was cleared of all charges as it relates to the declaration of the London bank account. What does this mean for his political career? Will it calls for him to actually assume the office of presidency have been increasing? Is that on his agenda? Well, we'll find out from Mr. Panday. He will be joining us on set just in about 15 minutes. But don't forget our first interview, which will be with Sat Maharaj. And today is Friday, so Jassy Marik will be joining me on set for Spotlight. But before we go to our first interview, which will be via telephone, let's tell you why you should buy the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian today. The front page of The Guardian, the controversy surrounding Jack Warner continues. Jack was wrong. Minister can't give orders, police or soldiers. That's according to senior members of the legal fraternity. A picture there of the protest action taking place outside the Prime Minister's office. I see a picture there of the political leader of the MSJ who has joined that action, saying that it's a dangerous precedent. Soldiers move into dismantled camp. Watson picks Windies, and a picture there from yesterday's Euro Cup semi-final match that was between Italy and Germany. And, you know, they celebrate after winning the championship semi-final. Many are disappointed. They actually thought that Germany was going to go all the way. In fact, I lost some money with that bet, but oh well. Now you can't get it all, but I'm pretty sure that Spain is going to win on Sunday. So Sunday's going to be the Euro Cup final. Let's give you something to think about while you have your morning cup of coffee. We should all know that diversity makes for a rich tapestry, and we must understand that all threads of tapestry are equal in value no matter what their color. I'm going to read that again, and this is stemming from all that's happening, read the protest action. We all should know that diversity makes for a rich tapestry, and we must understand that all threads of the tapestry are equal in value no matter what their color. Something to think about this morning while you have your morning cup of coffee. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter at Hema_Ramkissoon. I'm actually getting on the Twitter bandwagon, and I think I'm improving a little bit. We're now taking a very short break. When we come back from this break, we're going to be linking up with the Secretary General of the Sanathan Dharam Mahasabha. Don't forget, in a very short while, Basdeo Panday, the former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, will be joining us on set.
difference between seeing and living the Olympic Games. No one gives you more excitement, more hours, or more DirecTV HD content. Now get your DirecTV hooked up for only $99.
Nigel's Touch Promotions presents The Truth Is.
Please welcome 7-time Grammy nominee, Billboard and Image Award winner, the phenomenal Fantasia.
Ran into an old friend yesterday. Caught me by surprise when he called my name.
Fantasia.
Baby, you don't really know my name.
Saturday, 30th June at the Ambassador Hotel poolside. Also featuring Ifa Sayo, Nina Fox, and Kimber Sozano. Fantasia. Truth is the concert. Saturday, 30th June at the Ambassador Hotel poolside.
Enjoy hassle-free shopping at South's premier beauty store, One Stop Beauty Essentials. They carry a wide range of leading brands and personal care products at reasonable prices, including cosmetics, fragrances, and everything for your nails and hair. 100% Remy, human and synthetic wigs, weaves, and braids are also available. Shop in comfort at One Stop Beauty Essentials, your one-stop beauty shop, conveniently located at 52 Sutton Street, San Fernando. Secure parking available. Like them on Facebook or call 652-0080.
Who is CUNA Caribbean Insurance? We're the company that's a cornerstone of the credit union movement, helping to provide affordable, innovative insurance products for credit union members here and throughout the region. And as a member of CUNA Mutual, we've got the resources and experience that provide a foundation of global strength, keeping credit unions and their members in safe hands. CUNA Caribbean Insurance, creating financial security.
Don't allow the sun or rain to disrupt your comfort at home or business place. Install an awning now. Aluminum or canvas, stationary or retractable. We even stock poolside table umbrellas and beach umbrellas. For prompt and efficient service, call Hudson Fashions today at 657-3930 or 362-7041. In Tobago, call 718-4203 or 396-5514. You can visit the website www.weathermanawning.com. Hudson Fashions, 2 George Street, Laramie. Dr. Oz recommended it, so at Herbs and Health, we've got it. At Herbs and Health, we offer a full range of herbal supplements, from green coffee bean extracts recommended for weight loss with no side effects, DHA supplements known to promote a healthy brain and reduce the effects of early Alzheimer's, and Relora supplements as a stress reliever. Whatever the health concern, our very knowledgeable staff will help you achieve your health objectives. Live green with Herbs and Health, located at lower level Gulf City Mall, Laramie. Call us at 652-2220.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Hema Ramkissoon. Thanks so much for staying with us. Now, just to bring our discussion into context, joining us on the line is Secretary General of the Sanatan Dharam Mahasabha, Satnarayan Maharaj. We're going to play for you a clip from the Attorney General, and then we'll begin our discussion.
The man, they wanted him. They were trying to provoke him and to get a racial reaction from him. I condemn it. I condemn it in the strongest possible terms.
A clip there from the Attorney General, Anand Ramlogan. Now, just for you to understand a little bit about the background about this event, the Reroute movement, consists a number of women who are attached to this group. They have engaged in a religious fast. They are attached to the Hindu faith, and during that confrontational scene where police and army went down to Debe and destroyed the camp, a number of slaves who actually had their genesis in the Hindu faith and in the Hindu religious book of the Ramayana were thrown towards Jack Warner. Now, you remember the images where Mr. Warner was seen removing the religious items of the group and putting it in a box and taking it away during the demolition activity. He was chastised for that. Many have said a number of things about the event, saying that he's unfit to do as such. He was actually even called a Rawan. Joining us on the line this morning, the Sanatan Dharam Mahasabha Secretary General, Mr. Maharaj. Mr. Maharaj, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning to you and good morning to all your viewers, and I'm glad to be here this morning.
Now, you obviously are looking on at this, and this is because of the fact that a number of persons attached to this movement, and we saw the scenes of the Indian Arrival Day fiasco, where they were engaged in prayer, fasting, and activities of such. Mr. Warner has been the center of this controversy, and we're not looking at the legal element this morning. We're looking at the religious statements that were made with it. Maybe you can give us your thoughts on what is happening.
Mr. Warner has committed no sacrilege against the Hindu religion. The person who is committing sacrilege is a man called Kublal Singh. Not only did he do that at the site camp there, but you talked about Indian Arrival Day celebrations, where we had thousands of children on the compound, and we had many old people on the compound. They blocked the exits and the entrances. They gate crashed our function. If there was an emergency like an earthquake or a fire, our children would have been trapped in the compound. Great damage would have been done. We thought that was irresponsible, and we distanced ourselves from this group of people and from Mr. Kublal Singh.
Now, it's interesting that you say that you distance yourself. They have been engaged in in a lot of Hindu rituals. As one of the leaders in the Hindu community, do you not see this as a volatile situation? Do you feel offended in any way?
Of course, Errol, this has nothing to do with religion. This has to do with politics. This has to do with a highway to service the people of Point Fortin and beyond into Cedras. This has nothing to do with religion. Now, I ask you, if you look at the images there, you will see people in hijab, and you will see Muslim people, and you will see Christian people. Why are they not singing qasidas and quoting from the Quran? Why are they not singing hymns and quoting from the Bible? These people are desecrating the Hindu religion, and we are upset, and we want to condemn it. Jack Warner did not desecrate Hinduism, because let us get this thing straight. That was not a religious image. The only time, you know some of these mandirs, Hema, the images in the mandirs have been installed by the pundits. The pundits perform an all-day ritual. It is called the Pran Pratishta ritual, the infusion of life into the block of marble through the recitation of mantras. Those were only pieces of concrete and stone and pictures. They had nothing to do with Hinduism. They are just using Hindu as a cover to do the mischief.
Now, Mr. Warner has also been chastised. There were photos of him removing the imagery of the Hindu gods and goddesses that were on the site. Now, you also are clearing that up. But your thoughts on all of the criticisms that he's been received, and also, I don't know whether we have the start to play, but he was called a Rawan by some of the protesters.
You know, Rawan is a racist connotation.
And that's what I want to ask you about, the fact that...
and I find that was very offensive. Mr. Warner was doing his job as a minister. He's a member of the government. And for people to turn around and say you are a Rawan, I believe that's very offensive. And the population should rebel against that. Even those who are supporting, for political reasons.
Looking at how all of this has transpired, and I'm going to ask about the fact that there was imagery of Mr. Warner actually personally removing the images, and you made the point that it's not sacrilege, but yet it has gotten an emotional response with many persons saying that he had no right to do it.
My suspicion is that Mr. Warner was trying to remove these so that it couldn't be broken, so that they could be charged for breaking up the images. And all he was doing, from what I see from the images there that come out on television, he was trying to preserve it. So that this is an excuse to perform these illegal acts. And I condemn it completely, and I say, listen, this is a political matter, this is not a religious matter, and they are drawing my religion and the Hindu religion into something that has nothing to do with religion.
But Mr. Maharaj, the women who are attached to this movement, they are engaged in a fast and they are doing a lot of rituals. As one of the leaders in the Hindu
rituals?
community,
They can't perform rituals. Each one of us can pray for ourselves, but they cannot perform the rituals. It takes a pundit to perform the rituals.
how do you see this entire issue stemming out? These women are still attached to the movement, and they are saying that what was done with to them and to their site was an unholy act.
That was not an unholy act. That was a political act. The state must act in the interest of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Why shouldn't the people of Point Forte have the highway? Why shouldn't the people of Cedros and the Carcass and these far-flung areas in southeast Trinidad have access to the rest of Trinidad and Tobago? People must make sacrifices. Listen, Hema, we have been hearing about the highway to Mayaro. That will have to come on stream soon. Every morning, there are long miles of traffic up in the east when you go into Sangre Grande. Jack Warner has got to build a highway to Sangre Grande.
Has any member of has any member under the Mahasabha approached you on this matter, saying that they feel personally offended by how all of this has played out?
Yeah, we are all offended by it. Those of us who know that, these are not murtis. You see, there's a difference between an image and a murti, you know. A murti is when life has been infused into the image. Then it becomes sacred. And these are installed in mandirs, right there in that area there.
But if these women choose to exercise their faith and they choose to protest using, non-confrontational means, the fact that their site and what they consider to be religious or what they consider to be sacred was destroyed, does that not alarm you in any way?
No. We are alarmed when they use the religion for political purpose. This is a political protest. They are protesting the highway passing through their area. It is all political. This has nothing to do with religion. It's easy to plant a flag, and it's easy to do the things that they are doing, and it's easy for others to come and join with them, and others who are not even Hindus. I know some of them who are Christians.
Mr. Maharaj, our topic for this discussion is religion promoting division in our society. Do you think that's what's happening here?
Hello. From the dawn of history, religion and division went hand in hand. What do you think these people all over South America and all about converting the people? It's divisive. Of course it's divisive, but it's also very necessary that we recognize the supremacy of God.
Now, Ms. Maharaj, just have a minute till we wrap this interview. Your closing comments, and this all stemmed from the fact that a number of women, Hindu women, say that what occurred in that campsite was unholy, that it was sacrilege, and Mr. Warner has been the subject of a number of attacks, and racial slurs were used back and forth. They even quoted elements of the Hindu scripture, but you, as you made it clear this morning, there were racial connotations to a number of remarks that were thrown at him.
Listen, I am asking why Warner doesn't bring his female people. Why he didn't bring his wife there? Why other people's wives have to be there? Why? I'm talking about Kublal Singh, not Warner. Kublal Singh. Why he didn't bring them there? I am saying that these people, and the Mahasabha is saying that these people are committing an act of sacrilege against the Hindu religion. And you have Muslims there who are engaged in that, and you have Christians also who are engaged in that, and it's been encouraged by our own Hindu people.
Ms. Maharaj, thank you so much for joining us this morning to give your thoughts on this matter. I'm Hema Ramkissoon, and we've just concluded that discussion with the Secretary General of the Sanatan Dharam Mahasabha, the largest Hindu-based organization in the country, and they are saying that they condemn all of the action, that it has nothing to do with religion, that it's simply a political matter, and that all of this, they have apologized and condemned all of the racial slurs that have been thrown against the Minister of National Security in this matter. Now, what's interesting, Mr. Bastio Pandey will be joining us on set in a few seconds. And as a former Minister of National Security, how would he have handled this matter? Stay with us.
Change is coming. It's time to change your look at Ferreira Optical. Get 30% to 50% off select frames and sunglasses. Choose from the brands you know. CK, Fendi, Sean John, Nike, and much more. Make that change until July 7th. Only at Ferreira Optical.
Aim for the galaxy and win big with Bullet. Purchase Bullet Energy Drink at any leading supermarket and get your code to win. Just text your code to 4487 and get automatic entry into our database to win a brand new Samsung Galaxy Tab. Bullet Energy Drink. Energy on target. This competition has been approved by the NLCB. Text messages cost $1.
You really like your Subway? How come?
Well, I love fresh salads.
I love the breakfast too.
I love the foot long. I love mine got right through.
I love my Subway
with all the fresh veggies. Boom-de-ada, 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 boom-de-ada. I love the healthy choice. I love it everywhere.
I love mine toasted quick.
And that they really care.
I love my Subway. Prepare just how I say. Boom-de-ada, 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 boom-de-ada.
I really love my Subway.
I love fresh golden bread.
I love mine stuff just right.
I love their awesome team.
I love mine in the night.
I love my Subway with all the choice of meats. Boom-de-ada, 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 boom-de-ada.
Subway, eat fresh.
We are coming to your community.
The police service would launch its newest outreach program,
The Police Caravan, at the Brian Lara Promenade
on June 29, 2012. Come down and see what we have to offer.
We will have demonstrations, giveaways, music by the police band.
Become a member of the Police Youth Club.
Come on down, we will show you how.
Come and get closer
with your friendly neighborhood cop.
I'll be there. Hope to see you there.
Come and learn what police can do. We want to partner with you.
Relax in style with patio sets from Rupnarine Home Centre. Now open at Corner Friend Street and Wrighton Road, Woodbrook. Come in or call us today at 624-7667. Rupnarine Home Centre, your leader in home improvement.
Do not risk your life using ladders and homemade scaffolds. Rent your scaffolds and be safe. Visit DMA Transport and Scaffolding Services Limited. We specialize in tube and clamp, H-frame, cup lock, and acro props. We have an excellent reputation for our high-quality products, competitive prices, fast delivery times, reliable service, constant adherence to on-site safety, certified scaffolders. We also specialize in general construction and maintenance services. So visit or call DMA Transport and Scaffolding Services Limited, number 91st Street, Barataria. Telephone 674-6178.
Meet Jane. Jane is burning fat as we speak. Just adding Dairy skimmed milk to her daily routine gives her the calcium she needs to burn calories more efficiently all day long. Plus, with a low-calorie diet and exercise, it helps her burn more tummy fat. So Jane not only looks better on the outside, but she feels pretty good too. Get the better benefits of milk with Dairy skimmed milk. Dairy, the milky milk.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Hema Ramkissoon. Thank you so much for staying with us. Basto Pandey was the 5th Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago from 1995 to 2001 and has served as leader of the opposition from 1976 to 1977, 1978 to 1986, 1989 to 1995, 2001. And earlier this week, he had yet another interesting milestone. We can go on and on about Mr. Pandey's political career. He was at one time one of the longest serving members of Parliament. His entire history has been quite colourful, but no matter what your thoughts are, Mr. Pandey has inevitably shaped the political landscape of this country. This morning, sitting on set with us to tell us his thoughts on all that is happening. He was also a former Minister of National Security. Today, calls for the removal of the current Minister of National Security have been intensifying. This is all following an action that took place 2 days ago, where the army and police destroyed a camp which was attached to a protest. Many have labeled the protest as peaceful, saying that the use of such force was not required. We just ended a conversation with the Secretary General of the Mahasabha, who's saying that this is all racism and has nothing to do with religion, but it does have something to do with the country of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Pandey, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
How have you been?
Oh, very well indeed.
How are you keeping busy out of politics?
I'm doing all the things I wanted to do, which I couldn't do. I'm reading a lot, trying to write an autobiography, learning to play the harmonium, studying Hindi, doing all sorts of things.
You can't.
I can actually read Hindi now fluently.
So this time away has actually allowed you the opportunity to do all of the things you wanted to do.
Yeah, sure.
Earlier this week, the cloud of corruption was yesterday lifted from veteran politician when he was acquitted of charges of failing to declare the assets of a London-based bank account to the Integrity Commission for 3 consecutive years. When you heard that the entire affair had now ended, what were your initial thoughts?
I've carried this burden for 10 years. The cross that was very, very heavy to bear and has cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's over, thank God.
Some have criticized this entire affair, saying that it's just another spin and that it's nothing to celebrate. It's simply the Integrity Commission failed to act properly and that it's just a technicality. How would you respond to your critics?
That's their business.
Why do you think that people, you are continuing to be a figure that most people look towards for judgment, for guidance, and your thoughts on all that's happened because of your political career? When you get up this morning and you look at the front pages of the Guardian newspaper, Jack was wrong, minister can't order police or soldiers. You, as a former Minister of National Security, how would you have handled it? Was he wrong?
I think he was. I think the lawyers are quite right. You see, the impression given when I look at the TV coverage of it is that this is my army. I control it and I can get them to do what I want and I shall tell them to do this and they'll do that. That's the impression that is given. It's an impression that is terrifying. I was shocked when I saw that on television. I can't remember. I don't think that's a minister's place. A minister is not supposed to give the army directions. I thought that was the job of the commander-in-chief and so on. And the police. The police mustn't take directions from a minister. Police must take directions from the police commissioner. So presently, I think the intention was to intimidate. I think that's the impression I get.
If you were Minister of National Security, how would you have handled this situation?
I would have gone to court. I would have got an order from the court, serve it on them, let them be prepared for, if the court had granted the order, the court may not have granted the order. And if the court grants the order, serve it on them so that they'll be prepared and know that police is coming and the army is coming and so on in order to remove them. I thought that would have been more humane as opposed to descending upon them at 5 o'clock in the morning and tearing up their religious artifacts. I thought that was awful.
It's interesting that the entire cabinet has now come out in support of Mr. Warner. Looking at the papers, Warner gets backing from fellow ministers. A story by Gil Alexander. Government ministers mounted a stout defense of National Security Minister Jack Warner's involvement in the Dawn raid on Wednesday to destroy the Highway Reroute Movement protest camp. These include Attorney General Anand Ramlogan, also the Minister of Works, which is now Emmanuel George, Rudal Munilal, the Attorney General, even the Prime Minister.
They're all singing for the supper, rather loudly.
There's collective responsibility and responsibility to country. We recently had a cabinet reshuffle. Verna St. Rose Graves made an interesting statement when she sat on our set, and she said she's now learned a lesson in collective responsibility.
I don't think moving around ministers is the answer, because the problem is quite different. The problem is really the Constitution. The Constitution is such that ministers are constrained from acting and from delivering and so on. And you have to short-circuit the system in order to deliver. For example, I tell you, when I was Prime Minister and we were trying to fix the people's roads and so on, some contractor went and got an injunction against the government, debarring us from fixing the roads. And what we did is we allocated money to TIDCO. We are still condemned for that. We allocated money to TIDCO, you remember that? And TIDCO did the job of building the roads. So in order to give them roads, you have to short-circuit the system because, well, the Constitution needs to be changed. I don't think moving around ministers is going to help. For example, if a minister is moved, people must ask the question, why is that minister moved? It must be because they are not performing in that ministry, because those who have performed have not been moved. So that those who are moved have not performed. And why have they not performed? Ministers are not supposed to do things, apparently this Minister of National Security believes that, but ministers are not supposed to do things. They are supposed to instruct public servants to do them. And they get the things done because of their leadership quality, where they can lead their staff in order to carry out the government's policy. So that if a minister is moved for non-performance, it is because he lacks leadership qualities. How will he perform in another ministry?
The fact that Jack Warner was appointed to the Minister of National Security, many saw it as he was actually dubbed Action Jack by the media. They're saying that he's willing to take responsibility and go in where no one has been able to go before, and they're hoping to see meaningful change in a runaway problem.
That includes breaking the law, and if he's prepared to go that way, nobody has gone, who has gone there before, if that is his attitude, I feel sorry for this country.
Do you think he'll be a good Minister of National Security? His appointment has received some criticism with the opposition. And
I can only go by what I see has happened since he has become minister. So, it is strange that his first act has been an act against people with whom he had a confrontation in his last incarnation as a Minister of Works. That is the first act he did. It reeks of vengeance and spite. It reeks of it, whether it is or not. It reeks of vengeance that you all bucked me when I was Minister of Works. Okay, I'm Minister of National Security, now I'll show you. I'll lead the troops against you. That is how it looks. Whether it is in fact so or not, I don't.
Now, the Attorney General has said that, it's interesting the way the discussion is going on this matter. This development is needed for the country. It's part of an overall development plan.
If this is the brutality with which they intend to treat this country in order to get things done, I'm sorry for the country.
You're sorry for the country. This partnership, many of the persons who are sitting in senior positions of the government actually started their political career under a party that you formed. They worked under you. They learned from you.
Seems they learned more from the PNM.
Do you think that now that you look at them as a former teacher and a former mentor, are you proud of all of your students?
Terribly shamed, actually.
Which one are you most shamed
at? The list is too long.
Looking at where the government is and what they're doing, the MSJ has departed from the current arrangement. We see even this morning, Vernon de Lima's questioning the appointment of Jack Warner. Rod Mears, one of the forming members of the COP, is also joining the protest action. The stability of the partnership. But yet, we talk about that, but the polls still rate the Prime Minister as extremely high.
Well, two things. I think the MSJ has recognized that there is a political vacuum. People voted against the PNM and they voted for the partnership. They were dissatisfied with the PNM and now they are dissatisfied. I think by and large that's my feeling, that people are dissatisfied with the PP government. Therefore there's a vacuum has been created in the middle there, similar to the one that took place when Robinson won his 33-3 and so on. And I think the MSJ believes that they can fill that vacuum. But if they stay with the PP partnership too long, they'll be tarnished by the allegations of corruption, mismanagement, cronyism, patronage. I think they believe that they'll be tarnished by that, and pulling out now will give them a better chance of filling the vacuum. I think that's what's happening.
But this government has stated that they have answered more questions than any other administration before them, re-accounting to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. They stand by that they have lived up to their promise of transparency and accountability.
Well, that's for the people to decide. I don't think they have, but that's for the people to decide.
Why don't you think that they have?
People expected change. And no matter what little tinkering they do here and there, it's really quite irrelevant. Tinkering, oh, I've answered more questions than you have, so I'm better than you. That's nonsense. People voted for change. They wanted change. But they see no change. They're continuing just like the PNM. For example, one of the things we stood for, that the agricultural lands will not be used for housing. But they followed the PNM plan of using agricultural lands for housing. They just continue the way the PNM is continuing. And that, I think, is what makes people dissatisfied. If you say, the polls are saying that
the Prime Minister's stock is extremely high still.
Yeah, it's because I think she has a terrible capacity for passing the blame on to others and so on. For example, I'd like to know what she's going to say about this thing with Mr. Warner. Mr. Warner is saying that, he didn't tell her anything. She didn't ask anything. Okay, that may be so. But she knows now. What is she saying now about it? I think that is important.
What is the Prime Minister going to say on this matter? How do you assess the performance of the government? We now take a very short break. When we come back, we're going to continue this discussion with the former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and the founder of the United National Congress, Bastio Pandey.
Promotions presents The Truth Is.
Please welcome 7-time Grammy-nominated Billboard and Image Award winner, the phenomenal Fantasia.
Ran into an old friend yesterday. Caught me by surprise when he called my name.
Fantasia.
Baby, you don't really know my name.
Saturday, 30th June at the Ambassador Hotel poolside. Also featuring Ifa Sayo, Nina Fox, and Kimber Sozano. Fantasia. Truth is the concert. Saturday, 30th June at the Ambassador Hotel poolside.
East, west, north, and south. This is what it's all about. For a proper evening of total relaxation and tasty cuisines, come visit El Comandante Lounge and Pool Room, located at number 6 Southern Main Road, Lounge. For further information, call 657-3930 or 362-7041. And remember to check out our Curry Duck Wednesday special. And the chicken is chicken licking good only at El Comandante, baby.
Yes, Comandante.
Located at number 8 Forest Avenue, Coqueville, San Fernando, Comfort Cooling is the ideal choice for all your residential and commercial air conditioning needs.
York International is proud to announce that Comfort Cooling is our authorized dealer for all mini splits manufactured by York. We are confident that Comfort Cooling has the qualified engineers and technicians to do the design and installation of our units.
So, give us a call at 652-6378.
Do you love music? Then take advantage of big discounts during this summer's media camp and become certified only at the Studio One Media Academy. Sign up for one or more of our courses, including radio presentation, live sound engineering, the ultimate DJ workshop, television production, and more. We are also the only authorized training center in the Caribbean to offer Rain Serato DJ training and certification. Sounds good? Then call 684-8333. Studio One Media Academy, your door to media.
Come, be part of the transformation to foster innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. Attend Entrepreneurship in Education, a breakfast seminar hosted by CME Consulting. Entrepreneurial Excellence Through Education, an Agenda for Growth. Feature address by Senator Dr. the Honorable Bohindra Dutt Tiwari, Minister of Planning and the Economy. Call 625-2CME, 625-2263, or visit www.cmelimited.tt.com. CME Consulting, your one-stop entrepreneurship center.
If someone has a cold drink and ice cream, they'll get that short, sharp shock of pain. In order to have sensitivity, you'll have some dentine exposed. The dentine has got these little tiny holes, or little tiny tubules. Cold travels down these tubules, hits off the nerve, and this is how we get pain. Not a day goes by that I don't recommend Sensodyne to my patients. Sensodyne travels down these little pores and calms the nerve down. It's a no-brainer. What we recommend is what works, and what we recommend is Sensodyne.
This is Let's Talk Tobago. Be viewing Let's Talk Tobago every Sunday at 6:25 p.m. on CNC3. Let's Talk Tobago, keeping you abreast of Tobago's development. Join us every Sunday at 6:25 p.m. as we talk Tobago, and let's build the nation of Trinidad and Tobago together.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Hema Ramkisoon. Thank you so much for staying with us. On set with us this morning, former Prime Minister Basto Pandey, former Minister of National Security and also founder of the United National Congress. Mr. Pandey, since this case has been thrown out, basically, many have suspected, or there have been rumors, that you are in line to be the next president of the country.
I believe that in God's face we shall not see.
Why do you think that is? You're a statesman. You've saved the country.
I am persona non grata with this government.
But many would assume that you would still have friendships, ties, maybe even a level of, you know, they all look at you. You were their mentor. Most of them who are in senior positions came into politics because of you.
I'm a bad teacher. Yeah.
Is that something that you would like to do?
I don't know. I don't know.
If given the opportunity, would you take it?
I'll have to think about it.
Have you thought about it at all?
No.
We're looking at the next chapter of your life, and you're now sitting back looking at the landscape, that is the politics of this country. As someone who served in the parliamentary chamber for so long, have we progressed?
In some ways, yes. And that is unavoidable progress. It says that the only constant is change. So no matter what you do, things are going to change. It is the human effort that directs, that determines the direction in which change goes. So that things have changed in the country, both physically and the consciousness of people, I think, has evolved to a greater level and greater heights than it has been. People are much more conscious, they're much more politically wise, they're much more politically savvy and so on. I think, yes, there has been change. But you'll know that the Constitution can constrain changes, and I believe the time has come for us to deal with the Constitution so that people can, there are new hopes. People have new hopes, new aspirations, new fears, different from that of 1961-62 when the Constitution was introduced. And they need a Constitution that will deal with these new fears and hopes and new aspirations.
What are your new hopes and your new aspirations?
Oh, to see a country that is prosperous, and to see a country that, most important, with happy people.
You think we're unhappy?
Very. From what I hear, I don't know. Maybe in the four walls of this room, unhappiness doesn't enter. But outside there, people are extremely unhappy. That's the feeling I get.
Why do you think they're unhappy? Are they disenchanted?
Yes, I think they're unhappy because they are disenchanted. They expected more. There was a lot of hype during the campaign, lots of promises made and so on, about all kinds of things. And very little or none, no promises have been kept. And those that have been kept are those that the county council could have done, you know.
The article has said the cloud of corruption was lifted from veteran politician Bastio Pandey when he was acquitted of charges of failing to declare the assets of a London-based bank account. Looking back at now at your political career, what do you think are some of the highs and the lows?
The highest in my career, I think, was not while I was in Parliament, but when I was out of Parliament. In 1972, when I became the president of the All Trinidad Sugar Workers Union, the workers, some of them were still living in carrot and mud huts. Their wages were 63 cents an hour, and that sort of thing. They worked for a few months of the year. Their annual income was less than $600 per year. They were in abject poverty. This was a working poor. And the greatest thing I think I've done is when I lifted them out of poverty. Not only the 10,000 sugar workers, but the average of 5 children, 5 families, about 50,000 people were lifted out of poverty. That was the greatest thing I think I've ever done. And that was not when I was in Parliament.
What do you think is your lowest point? You have been prosecuted in a public court. Many say that you exited politics shamefully.
Yes, and I probably leave that way as well, but I don't know what is happening.
What would you say was one of your low points in your political career?
There are so many of them politicians who go up and down and so on. And I remember one of the high points. One of the things I remember very well is that because I was poor, very poor, I always had in my head that the way out of this poverty was education. And when I became Prime Minister, I was able to fulfill that dream by giving secondary education to all children, building about, 23 schools, getting rid of the common entrance 11+ exam and so on. That, I think, was probably the highlight of my career as a politician.
Looking at your career, how do you think history will judge Bastio Pandey?
I don't think history will even remember me at all by judging me. I don't think they'll even remember me.
How would you like to be remembered?
As somebody who tried, that's all.
Do you think that you've made mistakes, and what are these mistakes?
Oh God, I've made so many of them, I can't remember how many. I've made lots of mistakes.
Do you think the present government is some of the mistakes that you've made?
In order to make a mistake, you must do something.
Looking at the manner in which the country is being run, and I'm going to ask a little bit about the manner in which the reshuffle took place. You also commented on the size of the cabinet.
Yes, I think I was the first person to comment that we have probably per capita the largest cabinet in the world.
The government is saying that there's a need for this and we have unique conditions.
I cannot see how. What I would like to see is the portfolios that are allocated to each ministry. For example, take the Ministry of Social Justice, social...
the diversity, yeah,
the
social integration and diversity.
Integration and diversity and so on. I think it's chaos, but I would like to see it, and I'd like to see why certain portfolios are put under certain ministers, and they're probably breaking up a cohesive whole. And if you break up a cohesive whole, the chances of delivering are less than they would have been otherwise.
But you must admit as well that the system in the current form isn't delivering the way it should. You also made reference to the fact when you were Prime Minister.
I agree that the system is not, does not permit you to deliver as you would like to. But then change the system.
Maybe that's what they're attempting to do.
By having more cabinet ministers? By having the more cabinet ministers than any other country in the world? Is that how the system has changed? I didn't think so.
What would you do differently if you were in power? Who would you keep, who would you not keep?
The first thing I would do really is exactly what I did when I was in office, and that is no country has all the resources to do all the things it wants. No country. No, the resources are limited. There are limited resources and unlimited wants. And what you have to do, therefore, in such circumstances is to create a priority list.
And maybe that's what the government is doing as it relates to this highway.
If they have created a priority list, please tell us so that we will know. Because I believe that people are not as wicked as this government think they are, you know. People, if you tell them, listen, We don't have all the money to do everything, but we have a priority list, and we're going to do this first, this second, and this third. That's what we did.
But
Then
isn't
we
that
came
what their economic plan is about? Isn't that what their economic plan is about?
Which
the
economic-
7 pillars of development?
The 7 pillars of development.
There was a plan that was put out by the Ministry of Planning and the Economy.
You remember it?
It's on there.
Neither do I. And that's the whole point. That's the point I'm making.
Mr. Pandey, we have to go straight to the 7 a.m. newscast. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion for a little bit. Stay with us.
Good morning. This is Headline News on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. Opposition leader Dr. Keith Rowley wants Prime Minister Kamla Persaud-Bissessar to take action against National Security Minister Jack Warner for what he says is a flagrant breach of the constitutionally guaranteed separation of powers. He says the minister's direct instruction to the security forces to destroy the protest camp in Debe is extremely disturbing, since it now presents certain aspects of law enforcement without a court order under the directions of the political directorate. According to the opposition leader, this undermines the protections established under the independence of the Office of the Commissioner of Police. But the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service says at no time was the Commissioner of Police apprised or consulted that there would be the removal of the highway protest camp. Public Information Officer Sergeant Wayne Meister explained that upon request for police, 4 officers were sent to the location to keep peace and maintain order. He denied that police officers at the scene were heavily armed and assured that the TTPS is conducting investigations into the incident.
The Commissioner of Police was not apprised. However, the Assistant Commissioner of Police South was contacted, and the Commissioner of Police, in the interests of maintaining peace and order, sent 4 officers to the location.
Meanwhile, leader of the Reroute movement, Dr. Wayne Kubla Singh, says despite the state's action, he won't be deterred and has moved the strike camp from the demolished site along the M2 Ring Road to the doorsteps of the Prime Minister's Sinclair office. There, he was joined by MSJ leader David Abdullah, as well as OWTU President General Ansel Roger and attorney Ramesh Lawrence Miraj, who are all calling for Minister Warner to be fired from the cabinet. But National Security Minister Jack Warner continues to defend his actions.
The Prime Minister did not give me any instruction. The Prime Minister did not advise me. I did not ask her. I didn't tell her what I was doing. I acted on my own accord, and whether, of course, I would rise or fall on this, or whether I would get a backlash, I said before, I'm prepared for it.
In other news, free HIV testing will take place at 36 sites across the country as Health Minister Dr. Fuad Khan hopes to encourage more men to get tested. Trinidad and Tobago joins the rest of the region in commemorating Caribbean HIV Testing Day today. Launching the initiative on Thursday, Minister Khan admitted that men are less likely than women to get tested, and this, he believes, may be affecting data.
We are focusing on the male, because what has been found that men do not come for screening or testing, hence the statistics on men are less than that on women.
Stay tuned for another news update at the top of the hour here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network.
Aim for the galaxy and win big with Bullet. Purchase Bullet Energy Drink at any leading supermarket and get your code to win. Just text your code to 4487 and get automatic entry into our database to win a brand new Samsung Galaxy Tab. Bullet Energy Drink. Energy on target. This competition has been approved by the NLCB. Text messages cost $1.
Nigel's Dutch Promotions presents The Truth Is.
Please welcome 7-time Grammy nominee, Billboard and Image Award winner, the phenomenal Fantasia.
Ran into an old friend yesterday. Caught me by surprise when he called my name.
Fantasia.
Baby, you don't pay no mind.
Saturday, 30th June at the Ambassador Hotel poolside. Also featuring Ifa Sayo, Nina Fox, and Kimber Sozano. Truth is the concert. Saturday, 30th June at the Ambassador Hotel poolside.
Older you are, the more likely you are to forget simple things like where you put your car keys. Gink Gold can help. Gink Gold comes from the ginkgo herb, which has been studied by scientists and recommended to help people who suffer from memory loss. Gink Gold increases blood circulation to the brain, producing improved memory and concentration. Trust the world's #1 ginkgo extract, Gink Gold by Nature's Way, distributed by H&J Enterprises.
We are touched by your smiles and your friendships, by your appreciation of the past and your ability to see the future. We're motivated by your drive and your willingness to try new things. We are fascinated that even though you are so very different, you still see yourself as so very much the same. We are energized by how hard you work and your ability to have a good time, by your pride and your passion. We are moved by your every new beginning and wonderful end. Every day we're inspired by your likes and your lives, and we'll continue to challenge ourselves to remain a big part of them both. Bermudez, biscuits we love.
Shadrach Safety Institute Company Limited, globally recognized health and safety qualifications. This course is for those required to manage safely and effectively in compliance with both their organization's policy and the best practice in health and safety. It aims to ensure that safety requirements are appreciated by people beginning health and safety, as well as those employed as managers, supervisors, and safety officers. We are Shadrach Safety Institute Company Limited. For more information, call 652-3447 or 489-2426.
We are coming to your community.
The police service would launch its newest outreach program,
The Police Caravan, at the Brian Lara Promenade
on June 29, 2012. Come down and see what we have to offer.
We will have demonstrations, giveaways, music by the police band.
Become a member of the Police Youth Club.
Come on down. We will show you how.
Come and get closer
with your friendly neighborhood cop.
I'll be there. Hope to see you there.
Come and learn what police can do. We want to partner with you.
Loaded with protein and power, the ultimate power snack. Sunshine Snacks Nuts, more power to go.
Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Hema Ramkissoon. Thank you so much for staying with us this Friday morning. Joining us on set, former Prime Minister Basdeo Panday. Mr. Panday, we just looked at the newscasts, and calls for the removal of Jack Warner have been intensified since the demolition of that camp. We also heard clips from the post-cabinet news conference. Should Mr. Warner be removed?
That is a problem of the Prime Minister, and I do not intend to intervene in her problems.
Do you think that he erred in his judgment, that he performed?
Oh, he certainly erred in his judgment. I have no doubt about that. Being present and choosing as his first victims those with whom he had a confrontation only a couple of weeks before, I think it was bad timing.
But they're saying that the protesters are acting illegally, that they don't fall under squatter rights, and that the action has cost the country money in terms of halt production.
That's not the issue. The issue is the brutality with which the thing was done, the callousness, the feeling of vindictive spite. That is what is wrong. His presence. So, certainly.
Some say that at least he is a national security minister who's able to go down on the ground with the troops and take hold of the problem. Well, many national security ministers have been criticized over that.
He should put on the army uniform and the cap and so on and go.
Do you think it's a dangerous precedent that we're setting?
Very dangerous indeed. If every minister can take his troops and go down there and terrorize people, no matter who they are, that's a dangerous thing.
But then I bring back to the point that he is able to stand up with, or stand by his actions. And you were criticized as when you were Minister of National Security, and some say that I think there was the famous part where you put your hands up in the air when asked about the crime situation, and that he is now taking a different approach.
Incidentally, that is a statement that I never made. That is a statement that was made by Sate, Lenny Sate, in the Parliament, without any foundation. In any case, this is a stupid statement. How could I say that when we were in fact dealing with crime and brought crime down to the lowest level the country has ever seen? While that is happening, I'll drop my hands and said, we don't know what to do. Surely that statement was not made by me, it was made by Lenny Sate.
The reshuffle also saw the appointment of Larry Hawaii into the position of Minister of Finance. Your thoughts on his appointment?
I think he's a very capable person. He is. He's had lots of experience with finance, none with politics. And that job requires both political acumen as well as economic know-how.
Do you think the government has failed on crime and the economy?
I think they have failed with crime. Murders are up. I think there's more than one murder per day for the year. So that's high. And they have failed. They certainly have failed with the economy. The economy has been at a standstill. The expected growth of this year has now fallen. Oh yes, they have done nothing to stimulate the economy. I just hope that Mr. Hawaii will do a better job and will be able to stimulate the economy.
But within the global finance, what is happening on the global scale, many have said that we've fared quite well. In fact, the Minister of Finance, previous Minister of Finance, said we've maintained our rating with international agencies, our credit rating. We've also maintained a level of stability, that we have not spiraled downwards.
If we have had no growth and we continue to have no growth and you call that stability, yes, I agree with him.
Looking at you, I'm bringing it back to the judgment that was delivered today. And I asked you the question earlier about your critics saying that this is nothing to celebrate. It was simply a hiccup on the part of the Integrity Commission.
And as I told you before, that is their problem, not mine.
Do you have any regrets?
About?
About your tenure as Prime Minister?
No, none at all. And I have no regrets from the point of view that whatever I did, I believed that I was doing the right thing. It didn't turn out always to be the right thing, but then when that happens, you have to have the guts to say, that was the wrong thing. I'll now do what I believe to be the right thing. And if I did what I believe to be the right thing, how can I regret that? Now, of course, there are certain things that didn't go the way I wanted, but...
What are those things?
Oh, God, there's so many. I couldn't remember them all offhand.
Think of one thing in your political career.
One thing?
That didn't go the way that you wanted it to.
You got me there. I can't think. You should have told me. I would have think about it. I can't think. But I'm sure that there are many people outside there who remember many of them.
Looking at the current cabinet and the structure of the government of Trinidad and Tobago, what advice would you have for the Prime Minister today? God forbid that I should ever advise this from the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister has enough advisors. And you don't give advice when it's not going to be taken. It's a waste of time. So that I think the Prime Minister has enough advisors. Do you think our advisors are the best advisors?
Well, the taste of the pudding, they say, is in the eating. And things have not been going well, so it would appear that her advisors are not advising her properly, if she has any.
But looking at you talk about the performance of the government, all of these, most of them learned their political acumen from you.
Who says so?
Let's look at the constitution of the composition.
Who said they learned anything?
Also, if you had to rate them in terms of what are their biggest challenges, what do you see as the biggest challenges facing this country?
First of all, it's crime, obviously, because without safety and security, people can't do anything. So I think crime is the first thing. I think after that is the economy, which has to do with unemployment and so on and so forth. Of course, the health services are still in shambles. The infrastructure has not really been tackled seriously. After 2 years, very little infrastructural work has been done. So These are the problems, I think, which are urgent.
You also sat in the position of leader of the opposition for a number of years. Many have said that the PNM have yet to find their grounding following the crushing defeat on May 24th. Their former leader is now recovering, still recovering. Opposition leader Dr. Keith Rowley has been chastised by many quarters. Even those in the PNM seem a little uncertain as to where the party is and where it's going. Why have they been unable to be an effective opposition?
Because being in the opposition is quite different from being in the government. They're two different things. I was lucky in that I was in the opposition for a very long time before I became Prime Minister. But Dr. Rowley, I don't think has ever been in the opposition, if I remember rightly, so that he doesn't know. He doesn't have opposition tactics. He only has government tactics, and he's in the opposition. So he's out of place, so to speak. And I feel sorry for him.
But 2 years on, has he not learned without an effective opposition who's going to keep the government in check?
It's hard, and he has an uphill task. He has an uphill task in that the regime to which he belonged did so much wrong, got people so much against them, that he has to undo all of that. And he's suffering from another problem, that anything he criticizes the government for, the government and others say, well, you have done worse than that. You have done worse than that. Well, you did it too. That sort of thing, which is totally senseless, but that's the allegations they make against him. And it's hard for him to recover from that.
You personally finding that balancing act, many stated after the party, the UNC, lost the last election that you should have bowed out of politics, and many are now saying that you should be an advisor to the current administration. Where do you find that balance?
You can't please people. You do what you believe to be right and enjoy doing it. Life is about happiness, you know. That's what I've come to realize. I've come to realize, I've always wondered, I know I was born, I know I will die, and I've always wondered what is the meaning of the in-between.
Have you found the meaning of the in-between?
Yes, it is to be happy.
Are you happy today?
Yes, I am.
Would you enter mainstream politics again?
Would I?
Would you enter mainstream politics again? Would we
What does mainstream politics mean? I am in mainstream politics now. There are two dimensions of politics. One is electoral politics and one is non-electoral politics. I have no interest in electoral politics. But politics, non-electoral politics, I can't get that out of my system. In any case, I think it is treason for someone to see their country going downhill and not make some attempt to make the country better. That's treason. So that area of politics, I'm deeply involved in that and will continue to be as long as I have breath in my body.
Do you miss electoral politics?
No. Going out to ask for vote is not an easy thing.
You know, it's interesting. Many say that with you exiting the political landscape, mainstream electoral politics, and also with Mr. Manning in his current position and condition, we've changed a chapter, that the style of politics has changed. Do you think it's changed for the better or for the worse?
When you said the style of politics, I don't know what style they're referring to. I have not seen any fundamental change. And I don't know if anybody could point it out to me. Maybe I am not seeing, but I don't see any fundamental change.
They're saying the style of leadership has changed. It's more consultative.
Consultative? There's a difference between consultation and just listening to people and not taking them on, you know. That's pretense. So that I don't know that has happened. They have consulted with the people, the reroute people, haven't they? And as far as I remember, the Prime Minister has said that this is on hold. That's her last statement. So the people are saying this is on hold and they're waiting for that. And while that is happening, her Minister of National Security comes and rip away their tent.
Ms. Pandey, we just have 2 minutes till we wrap this interview. And you know, when I invited you to come on set, I guess because of who you are, we had to talk about the current political landscape. But it's really to talk about you.
Me?
Looking back at your career, which has been so long. And to talk about the rumors about you being the next president of the country.
Who is spreading that rumor? Nobody has asked me.
Will you consider it
If I am asked, I'll certainly consider it, but nobody has asked me. I would want to know what are my limitations. I certainly wouldn't be anybody's stooge. all my political life, I have not been anybody's stooge. I'm not going to start now.
What do you think is your place right now as it relates to the dynamics of the politics of this
Exactly where I am. That is, commenting on issues as I am commenting on them before you, raising people's matters. But I have another function that I enjoy very much. I've set up something called the Basdeo Panday Foundation. And what I do is I go there to this office in Couva, and they're poor people, helpless people who do not know where to turn when they have problems. They come, and I try my best to help them in whatever little way I can, if it even means writing a letter to the minister. I've written over 30 letters to the Minister of Housing of people
Have
who
they been acknowledged?
Some of them, but they never answer what you ask. It's being considered. It's being considered. That's what I do, and I enjoy that.
Do you feel a little hurt by the way that you've been treated by the party that you have founded?
Yeah, but I expected it.
Why?
In politics, you must expect anything. In politics, don't do anything because you want gratitude. If you do that, you'll be very unhappy. You must do it because you feel it is your duty, and you must get the joy, the enjoyment from the doing as opposed to its result.
Did you expect any more from them, or do you think that they are ungrateful?
Let the country decide whether they are or not. What point it is for me to say whether they are grateful or not? Let the country decide that.
Ms. Panday, your closing comments, Trinidad and Tobago. You have now been cleared a situation in the courts that has been over your head for quite a while now. Some have still criticized the decision, saying it's not much to celebrate. It was simply an indictment against the Integrity Commission. Now, you are moving on, the Basdeo Panday Foundation. The People's Partnership government is in power. It's a UNC-dominated government in terms of the numbers. The current Prime Minister and political leader of that party entered the political realm under you as the leader. The leader of government business was also your youth officer.
My God, what a fool I've been.
What are your closing comments, Trinidad and Tobago?
I just wish the country well. I hope that people will be happy. I hope the government will govern, and I hope the government will govern so that they conduce their performance conduce to the happiness of people. That's all. That's what people live for.
What do you think that if the government is not governing, what are they doing?
I would like to know myself.
That's closing comments of Basdeo Panday, the former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and the founder of the United National Congress. Always a pleasure to have on set, never a dull moment. I'm Hema Ramki. Soon we'll be back after this.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. Get a feeling that I never had before. Don't know, I get a good feeling, yeah. Oh, sometimes I get a
Surf, stream, share faster than ever before on Digicel's super fast 4G network. Make the switch to 4G today. Right now, get 4G smartphones as low as $499 plus free 4G data for 1 month.
www.cnc.edu. They have undergraduate programs in Christian education, social work and theology, and a Bachelor of Arts in General Studies. Oh wow, and look, they have music, management of human resources, psychology and counseling, early childhood care and education. Nice.
All of our programs are GATE approved and CETA accredited, with extension centers in Chaguanas and San Fernando. Caribbean Nazarene College, offering quality holistic higher education in a Christian environment. For further info, call 676-6586.
Tile Expression biggest tile sale is now on. 12 by 12, $350. 13 by 13, $495. 16 by 16, $695. 17 by 17, $795. 18 by 18, $895. 24 by 24 porcelain tiles, $29. Tin set, strips, grout, and more. Price is valid while stocks last. The #1 leader in tiles. Tile Expression Limited, located Monroe Road, Cunupia, near the mosque. Call 693-0015 or 693-1528.
Warranty, reliability, maintenance-free. Come to D. Rampersad & Company for Mac batteries, the cheapest in the market. We stock DuPont paint with computerized precision mixing and matching system. D. Rampersad & Company Limited is the largest in automotive engineering machine shop and spare parts supplies. We also provide resleeving, reboring, crankshaft grinding, and complete cylinder head services for Japanese auto parts like Mazda, Mitsubishi, Ford E56, and more. So come in or call us today.
Nigel's Dutch Promotions presents The Truth Is.
Please welcome 7-time Grammy nominee, Billboard and Image Award winner, the phenomenal Fantasia.
Ran into an old friend yesterday. Caught me by surprise when he called my name.
Fantasia.
Baby, you don't pay no mind.
Saturday, 30th June at the Ambassador Hotel poolside. Also featuring Ifa Sayo, Nina Fox, and Kimber Sozano. Fantasia. Truth is the concert. Saturday, 30th June at the Ambassador Hotel poolside.
If your upset stomach doesn't let you go on with your day, try Andrew Sauce. Rapid heartburn and upset stomach relief that starts working in just 6 seconds. Also, try Andrew Sauce. Relief with a refreshing lemon flavor.
Sunshine Snacks. Put a little sunshine in your day.
YMCA Vocation Program, Swimming, Life Saving, Camp 3 to 13 years, Career Enhancement, and Zumba classes. Call 625-9622. YMCA, empowering through service.
Welcome back. Trinidad. I got caught doing something I shouldn't be being on my phone at this time. During the break, we check all the Twitter updates. And don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter at Hema_Ramkisoon. Thanks so much to all of you who have been tweeting, and I hope that I can get responses or give you responses to all of them. Joining us, we're shifting our focus. We just had a very interesting interview with Bastio Pandey, never a dull moment, the founder of the United National Congress and former Prime Minister. He's now entering yet another chapter in his life, and now we're shifting our focus to the world of sport, and Sport TT is doing some good things. Many of you know the Ministry of Sport spearheads an initiative over the summer vacation. That is the break, and the sport company is also part of this initiative. And what they're doing is that they're having a summer camp, and it's happening very soon. And joining us on set, Devon Kwao and Rickson Powder. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Now, it's a summer camp that's happening.
Yes, it is.
When is it starting, and how do you get information about it?
All right, the summer camp is scheduled to start on the 16th of July and ends on the 3rd of August.
16th of July and ends in August.
Yes.
Now, this initiative has been going on for quite a while now.
Yes.
It actually started in 2008. We had it in 2009 and 2010 also. We didn't have it last year, so this year we are reintroducing it, and we know lots of parents and children have been eagerly anticipating the return of the camp.
What has been the turnout or the level of interest expressed in terms of the camp?
We've had numbers that crossed over 20,000 within the past year. The first year we had it, I believe our numbers were about 20,000. So this year we are hoping to, just do as much as we did in the first instance.
This is a sports camp, is it not?
Yes, it is.
What are the sports that are being played, the coaches? Let's talk a little bit about the structure of the camp.
Okay, well, the sports company is directly responsible for monitoring the performance of 14 national governing bodies. The camp actually offers 15 disciplines, table tennis being the lone NGB that is not directly supervised by the sports company. So apart from table tennis, you have athletics, basketball, cricket, cycling, football, golf, gymnastics, hockey, lawn tennis, netball. You have rugby/tagby, which is non-contact rugby. You also have sailing, swimming, and volleyball.
Now, looking at the camp, its coaches, and how do you get the correct support staff, and how many groups are we looking at?
Okay, well, this year we actually engage our national governing bodies as far as not only supplying the coaches for the camp, but appointing what we call national coordinators. Each national governing body would have had to appoint one of their technical personnel to actually develop the syllabus to the camp and place the coaches in all of the venues. And I must point out that all of the coaches this year are going to be certified coaches.
What is the age group that you're looking at for membership for this camp or to attend the camp?
Between the ages of 7 to 17 years.
7 to 17. Now, it's throughout the country.
Yes, it is.
In terms of the fees attached to the camp, what are the fees like?
The camp is absolutely free of charge.
Really?
Absolutely
free of charge.
So it's something you have to check out. I know that it's happening throughout the country.
Yes.
Obviously, not at every camp you're going to have every type of sport. How do you determine what area gets which sport?
Well, at the start, what would happen is the sport officers would investigate the areas, the different facilities that are available, and based on that, the sport would have been determined. So different areas would have different facilities, so the sport would really be geared on what the community has.
And the needs for the community. A lot of times we have been criticized, and we being the country, and maybe those reporters being, of not taking these initiatives throughout the country effectively and going to rural communities. Can the same be said about this camp?
This camp spans through the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago. I must point out that the venues in Tobago were confirmed this week, so registration for the Tobago venues will actually start tomorrow. The ads which you will have seen in the newspapers with the registration forms will include the Tobago venues from today. And parents can start calling in Tobago from tomorrow to register for those venues. Registration has been going on via our secretariat for the past few weeks. We want to point out that parents should call as soon as possible to get the registration done, and they can work with the registration forms at the beginning of the camp.
Where do you get the registration forms?
Well, the registration forms can be obtained on our website, www.sport-tt.com, and they are also available in the newspapers. They are available at most of the venues, in supermarkets, shopping malls. They're also available at our head office on 111 to 117 Henry Street in Port of Spain. So there are many, the forms are very easy for parents to access.
Every year, you know, as you put an event on, obviously you've learned lessons from the past to make changes for the next edition of this camp. What are some of the changes that took place for this edition?
Well, this year we try to improve not only the capacity of those persons working in the camp, but of our NGBs on the whole. Some of them in the past would not have necessarily had the amount of trained coaches necessary to undertake such a massive project, because you're talking about having this camp throughout the entire country, and some of the disciplines did not have all of their coaches certified. Over the last few weeks and leading up right to the camp, those NGBs are actually conducting coaching courses partnering with the sport company. We are assisting them in bringing off these courses, so we are ensuring that this year for the first time, every single coach in this camp will be a certified coach.
Now, where can you get information about the full event? I know we have a couple of minutes to wrap. Why should parents be aware of this? Why should they go?
Well, basically, the camp is free.
I know that's always a plus.
Yeah, that's always a plus. We're going to have a light snack provided for breakfast. We're also going to be providing lunches for the children. Equipment, everything is going to be provided basically for the camp. So all a parent has to do is make sure they send their child. That's all we're asking. Send your child and we will take care of them during this period.
Listen, you know, I have to ask also, now we're living in a very interesting time. Parents are always concerned about the safety of their children.
Yes.
This is a sports camp. Yes. Obviously medical facilities and medical personnel. How would you assuage their fears this morning?
Okay, well, all of the relevant authorities have been notified. The police have been notified, so there will be frequent patrols at all of the venues. Some of the venues in the so-called high-risk areas will also have on-site security. We've also notified the relevant emergency services, you know, EHS, Red Cross, fire services. So everybody is aware that this program is happening, and everybody is prepared to lend support in that regard.
Your closing comments to Trinidad and Tobago. Speak to the parents this morning. This camp is happening, again, give them the dates. And
well, basically, this is a can't-miss opportunity. It's from July 16 to August 3rd. It is free. The children are going to be in a controlled environment, a supervised environment. They have the opportunity not only to be coached in the various disciplines, but learn about the history and be taught other life skills, you know, like conflict resolution and that sort of thing. And in addition to that, I think it's also a better alternative than, you know, having children just stay at home and play video games. It's a lot cheaper than carrying them to the cinema. It's a way to get them active. It's a way for them to foster friendships and, you know, new relationships with children who they interact with in the camp. It's really a can't-miss opportunity.
It's interesting that you made that point about getting out of the house and parent understanding the importance of it actually instilling the values of physical activity and getting involved in sports. And now, do you find that you are competing with the Wiis and the Nintendos out there?
Definitely. And this is one of the main reasons why this camp was introduced and one of the reasons why we continue to develop the camp and try to expand it. I mean, this is the single largest project I think the sport company engages in annually. When you think about the expanse of the camp and the amount of children we impact every year.
Well, your closing comments, the information again, where can they find it and when is the camp starting so you can get it? Remember, it's free, that's always a plus.
Well, it starts the 7th, July 16th to the 3rd of August. The flyers can be found at any supermarket, newspapers. It can also be accessed at the Sport Company website, as well as the head office of Sport Company. And basically, I would encourage every parent to invest in this time for their children, just to be able to grow and develop in actual sports.
And if I may point out, we really want to urge parents to register quickly. Swimming is closed off, gymnastics is almost closed off.
You're oversubscribed already?
Tennis is almost closed off. So parents, we appeal to you. You could call 643-1009, 643-5630. You could call 643-0346. There are also additional mobile numbers that you could find on our registration form. It's imperative that parents call right away. Our secretariat is open Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, and on Saturdays from 10 to 4.
Call the number 643-1009 or 643-0346. There are a few other numbers. You can access it on the website, Sport TT. One of the initiatives, a number of the activities, a number of the disciplines are already filled. It's something to take your child to. So often we underestimate the value of really giving our children the opportunity to meet new friends, to be exposed. Who knows, your child can probably be the next George Pavel, the next Brian Lara. Give them a chance, let them, you know, show you what their talent's made of. I'm Hema Ramki. We'll now take a very, very short break. When we come back, Jazzy Marique will be on set for Spotlight.
VMed Limited, Trinidad's opportunity for quality dialysis care. Raising the bar in hemodialysis, VMed is committed to professional service with a highly trained and courteous staff and a state-of-the-art water treatment system. Quality is our mission. Your health is our goal. Visit or contact VMed today.
Located at number 8 Forest Avenue, Coqueville, San Fernando, Comfort Cooling is the ideal choice for all your residential and commercial air conditioning needs.
York International is proud to announce that Comfort Cooling is our authorized dealer for all mini splits manufactured by York. We are confident that Comfort Cooling has the qualified engineers and technicians to do the design and installation of our units.
So, give us a call at 652-6378.
Visit the Redemption Worship Center, a place of faith, worship, and fellowship where miracles do happen and people are blessed. With Pastors Keith and Radhika Ramdas, every Sunday, 9 a.m. worship, Wednesday, 10 a.m. prayer, Thursday, 7 p.m. Bible study, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Youth Church Explosion. Saturday at 12:15 p.m. vocals, music, and dance classes at St. Thomas Village, Chaguanas. For more information, call 672-4262 or email redemption@tsdt.net.
Three magnificent shows loaded with all the drama you want and the bacchanal you need to see. Red
White and Black, the comedy concert.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've hit the ground running as your Minister of National Security. Look, just the other day, I locked up Kublai Singh, and if Roger and Ramesh want to give trouble too, it will be lock up after lock up after lock up, I tell you.
The new Jack Warner. Comedy icons Larry and Tommy Joseph. Ian Allen lookalike. Wendell Etienne. Saint the Drunken Master. Health as Penis Carr. Nuts Landing. Kenneth Superstar. Dr. Chunky Ting. Cyclops the Stud. Hot Like Fire Dolores. Teresa Hope. Louis Spider-Man Antoine. And introducing beautiful Indian supermodel Cammy as the Prime Minister. With additional big surprises. Red, White, and Black. A comedy concert. Friday, July 6th.
8:30 p.m.
Saturday 7th,
8 p.m.
And Sunday, July 8th,
5:30 p.m. at Napa as a special 50th anniversary gift to the nation.
General tickets are priced at only $50 while stocks last. VIP tickets also available at Napa and regular outlets. For more info, call 622-0834.
Whether it's for the best tasting breads, cakes, and pastries, or doubles, pizza, and paratha roti, you need to start with premium flour. Nutrimix and Country Pride flour are nothing less than premium products manufactured to the highest standards. Available in 2 and 10 kilogram sizes from supermarkets nationwide, our range of flour was developed for its superior taste and nutritional value. We have the right flour for your family's every need. Nutrimix and Country Pride flour. Superior quality, honest prices.
You got to move, 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 move. We like to move, 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 move. All bodies young and old. 7 Seas put you back in the groove. Make you move right. John Care from 7 Seas. Moving nice and easy from your hip to your knee. Move your body with John Care whenever you please. You got to move, 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 move. We like to move, 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 move.
Put the move back into your groove with 7 Seas Joint Care, the only supplement with Glucomega for healthy, supple joints. Move!
Do you love music? Then take advantage of big discounts during this summer's media camp and become certified only at the Studio One Media Academy. Sign up for one or more of our courses, including radio presentation, live sound engineering, the ultimate DJ workshop, television production, and more. We are also the only authorized training center in the Caribbean to offer Rain Serato DJ training and certification. Sounds good? Then call 684-8333. Studio One Media Academy, your door to media.
Good morning, I'm Jassy Marik. Welcome back to the Early Morning Show. And of course, this is our Spotlight segment. Hema dabbled a bit in sport just before the last commercial break, but I'm here to take over now, seeing that this is more my forte than hers. No offense, Hema. I'm sure you're listening and looking on and perhaps steaming at those comments. Of course, we continue our focus this morning with a bit of the Ministry of Sport paying a bit of attention to some of the work they're doing. And of course, one of their big initiatives over the past couple of years is this year the National Youth Sport Festival. Of course, it's the 19th edition overall, and joining me on set is Sport Officer 2 from the Ministry of Sport, Gabri Mukhtar. Good morning, Gabri, and welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Now, this National Sporting Festival, of course, it's been around for quite some time.
Yes,
it's given birth to a lot of our current athletes who are representing Trinidad and Tobago. Pretty much an introduction to a lot of the sports that are on offer, 12 different sports and one Olympic, special Olympic event, which is bocce. Now, tell us a bit about what's happening this weekend, what can we expect, and perhaps even something different from years gone by.
Okay, the National Sports Festival, as you said, has been around for quite a while. This particular sport festival, what it is we are really trying to do is to sort of make some more follow-ups with regards to how best we can track the talent, the talent pool that would have been gathered, and make sure that going forward we know what is going to happen with this talent. Right. As usual, we always have that interaction with coaches, with national sporting bodies in terms of they coming, having a chance to look at the talent on display, make their recommendations, and if necessary, take those athletes who they see as talented and have a potential, the potential to succeed in the future, take them on to their programs, whatnot. Many of the athletes in the program or who will participate in the sport festival actually do come out of some of our coaching programs as well. And that helps in terms of that progression. Right? It's a chance to give them a look at some competition at a fairly high level, at least at an amateur level, whereby they can show their wares, express themselves, feel good for all the work they would have done during the year in the ministry's coaching programs, etc. And of course, have that opportunity to springboard.
Right. Now, two of the main pillars of the Ministry of Sports mandate is, of course, total participation, accessing and allowing access to as many children, of course, and people to participate in sport, and, of course, elite athlete participation. And, of course, from what you're saying, there's from this National Sport Festival, an attempt to make more of a synergy between the two. Of course, you bring together the largest possible pool of people wanting to participate in sport, particularly youth, and of course, trying to maintain some sort of tracking or progress report on some of these athletes that may stand out above the rest. I would like you to just expand on that a bit and just tell us the importance of being able to not only identify talent, but keeping that talent in check and over a continued period of time.
All right. In any sports system in the world, you will find whereby there's a pathway for development. In Trinidad and Tobago, we are still in the process of developing our own pathway, our pathway that will, of course, mirror some of what we see on the outside, but that also will be relevant to us here in Trinidad and Tobago. Within that, or within the development of such a pathway, it's a case whereby this National Sport Festival at least helps in terms of creating some sort of transition for those persons who may not be selected first up to national teams or to train towards being able to participate on national teams. It gives a chance for them to be seen, as I mentioned before. And from there, the coaching programs that the national governing bodies will be doing, the national governing bodies for sport will be doing, will then carry that development process through its completion, towards its completion, which of course is elite level or high performance. Okay, so it's a case whereby this is really a sort of transition. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity that we provide for those athletes who may not be in the more formal training programs, who may not be in the more formal developmental programs. And through the schools and the coaching programs and community programs that we do with our sport development officers as well, it's a case whereby we are now able to transition from not seen to possibly being seen. And the sporting organization will thereby take it into that performance level type athlete.
Okay, now it's one full day of activity, starting from 7 a.m. on Saturday morning at the Etihad and Eastern Regional Sporting Complex, and it runs straight till 6 in the afternoon. Now tell us a bit of some of the activities. Of course, you mentioned that it's trying to get and cover a wider group as possible over as many sports as possible. Tell us a bit about some of the sports, some of the activities that children will be expected to participate.
Well, as you mentioned, there are 12 sports. There are 12 sports that will be up for participation. A 5K road race, there'll be a track and field event, which is fairly new. Normally we just had the 5K road race. Now we're actually implementing some track and field events inside there, 60 meters, 80 meters, up to 800 meters. Relays as well are being instituted. So that is one of the areas, again, that is fairly new in terms of how this sport festival has been developing. Of course, we have football, windball, cricket, basketball, netball, volleyball, aerobics. It is an aerobics competition as well that is managed by the guys at the Bodybuilding Federation. Tennis, table tennis, hockey, martial arts, and of course the Special Olympic sport is bocce. Okay, of course within that same total participation in sport, we always must ensure that any of the special populations are catered for as well. So we always have that link with the Paralympic or Special Olympics bodies in terms of giving them a chance to also participate and express their talents.
Okay, now for those of you that may be wondering what is bocce, just picture a marble pitch within a confined area, but if you really want to experience and understand what it's about, I would encourage you to go out to the Etihad facility down there in Tagarigua, and of course it will spill over into the Tagarigua regional indoor facility. So it's really something that you should go out and experience yourselves. Parents, take your kids out, and of course I'm sure there are maybe some coaches looking on who may be wanting to scout some talent in these various sporting activities. Gabri, finally, just before we wrap, just tell us a bit more of the details, if registration perhaps is still open and whatnot.
Registration is still open. We are trying very much not to have any registration on the day, so today is more or less your deadline date to get in your registration forms. You can bring those registration forms into the Ministry of Sport on number 12 Abercrombie Street in Port of Spain. You can also call, if necessary, 627-1171, 483-7628, 684-2655, or 482-3306. Okay, that will that's our help desk per se. That will give you some knowledge as to how it is you can at least register your team on the online or on the phone. And from there, we can go forward.
Okay, so there you have it, all the details you need on the National Sport Festival. If not, you can call into the Ministry of Sport and get further information. It takes place tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Etihad Savannah and the Eastern Regional Indoor Facility. Go out, have some fun, take the kids out, and let them really and truly experience some of these sports. And after we take a short break, and when we come back, we're talking athletics. The National Relay Festival is also on this weekend. Stay with us.
Warranty, reliability, maintenance free. Come to D. Rampersad and Company for Mac batteries, the cheapest in the market. We stock DuPont paint with computerized precision mixing and matching system. D. Rampersad and Company Limited is the largest in automotive engineering machine shop and spare part supplies. We also provide resleeving, reboring, crankshaft grinding, and complete cylinder head services for Japanese auto parts like Mazda, Mitsubishi 4D56, and more. So come in or call us today.
Relive fond memories of the Treehouse at Driftwood Restaurant and Poolside Bar located at Tradewinds Hotel, San Fernando. Small buffet breakfast, a la carte lunch and dinner served daily. Sunday buffet breakfast, Wednesday 2 meats poolside barbecue with a live pan. Friday night entertainment and Saturday nights order our lobster dinner at half price. Dine outdoors poolside or enjoy AC dining indoors. Your wish is our command. Come and enjoy great ambience and have a good time.
Do not risk your life using ladders and homemade scaffolds. Rent your scaffolds and be safe. Visit DMA Transport and Scaffolding Services Limited. We specialize in tube and clamp, H-frame, cup lock, and acro props. We have an excellent reputation for our high-quality product, competitive prices, fast delivery times, reliable service, constant adherence to on-site safety, certified scaffolders. We also specialize in general construction and maintenance services. So visit or call DMA Transport and Scaffolding Services Limited, number 91st Street, Barataria. Telephone 674-6178.
Nigel's Dutch Promotions presents The Truth Is.
Please welcome 7-time Grammy nominee, Billboard and Image Award winner, the phenomenal Fantasia.
Ran into an old friend yesterday. Caught me by surprise when he called my name.
Fantasia.
Baby, you don't pay no mind.
Saturday, 30th June at the Ambassador Hotel Poolside. Also featuring Ifa Sayo, Nina Fox, and Kimber Sozano. Fantasia. Truth is the concert. Saturday, 30th June at the Ambassador Hotel Poolside.
Skyline Freight and Management Limited, custom brokers, freight forwarders, packers and movers to and from any part of the world. Call 627-7668 or 625-3119. Skyline Freight, celebrating 25 years in the freight industry.
Good morning and welcome back to the CNC3 Early Morning Show. And of course, it's a really and truly fast-paced program this morning in our Spotlight segment. We just had the National Sport Festival represented, and now we have the inaugural 50th anniversary Diverse TNT Relays, an initiative of the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment and of course the Ministry of Sport. Joining me on set to speak a bit about that, we have to my immediate left Janelle Sobrero Nobrega, and of course Staff Sergeant Dexter Wanza, who just last week was wearing a different hat on this very set. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Now, of course, getting right into it, starting July 1st, we have this inaugural event, a relay festival that is, of course, the initiative of the Ministry of Sport and the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment. Tell me a bit about what is it that you all are implementing here, Dexter?
Okay, Jesse. The Defense Force will be hosting several events in celebration of the 50th anniversary. This is one of the several events that we are hosting. It's a diverse TT relays. We have partnered with the Ministry of Sports because of the concept of the relays. Right. It will be done in 8 regions, Trinidad and Tobago, and each region will be represented by 6 teams. The sports development officers from the Ministry of Sport, they are the ones who, on a daily basis, involve in the community in terms of the groundwork. So we felt that it was necessary to get them involved to assist us in this project.
Now, of course, Janelle, you're a sport development officer. Yes. When this initiative was first conceptualized and, of course, taken to the different communities, particularly one or couple that you work closely with, what was the response and what is the kind of feeling on the ground leading up to this event?
Well, the response I got at first, not much people knew about the event. So my job in implementing the event in the community was targeting groups through the community village councils, through schools, through recreation grounds, just athletes, just amateur athletes, just playing, having fun at the grounds, you know.
So therefore, it's not particularly geared towards professional athletes, but of course trying to incorporate amateur athletes as well.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely, because one of the things that we said from earlier, that we don't want athletes who have national athletes participate in this, because it's geared towards the grassroots youths, right, getting an opportunity to showcase their talent.
Now, July 1st, it kicks off in Mayaro. Tell us why Mayaro, if there was any particular reason for going to Mayaro first, and give us some of the other venues that people might be able to experience.
Well, to answer your question, Mayaro is just one of the districts, one of the districts that out of the 8 districts we targeted. It's on the 1st of July, which is this Sunday coming here. One of the coordinator in charge of this event is Kern Dates. You can contact him at 295-5830.
5830.
Yes, transport will be provided at different 5 different venues at the CQ Junction Beach, Scotiabank, Rio Claro, Tabaquite Recreation Grounds, Brother Road Recreation Grounds, and Newlands Recreation Grounds.
Okay, of course. So that's just to incorporate and encapsulate all surrounding areas of Mayaro as well. Not only people from Mayaro could participate in this event. Tell us a bit more about the regions, the particular region, the 8 regions you mentioned that will be participating in this event.
Well, a listing of the 8 regions would be Victoria, aside from Mayaro, that is on Sunday. We have Victoria on the 14th of July. We have St. David's and Andrews on the 21st of July. We have St. George East, Caroni on the 28th of July, St. Patrick's East and West on the same day, the 29th of July. Then Tobago, we are across at Tobago on the 9th of August. Then St. George West on the 9th of August. And then we'll be having the finals on the 22nd of September.
And will these events be taking place at particular venues in terms of some of the more recognized venues, the stadia that we have available, or is it completely and totally community-based?
Well, our approach was to have it take place in the community, to get the sense of the togetherness and stuff in the community. But however, when the SDOs did their background checks, not all the venues was appropriate. So for example, some of the venues, the Atto Bolden Stadium, the Hazley Crawford Stadium, the Malabar Stadium will be used for some of the regions. Dwight York Stadium for Tobago. Now, each region, there will be 6 teams competing against themselves in order to come up with a final team to represent the 8th region. And that final, as Mr. Burrows said, will be held in September at the Hazley Crawford Stadium.
September at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. Now, of course, all you aspiring athletes who are looking forward, to showing your talent, come out, take part in these events, find out more about it. Of course, if you have a website or a number to call that people could perhaps get some information on.
You can contact me at 314-0982.
0982, and of course that's Janelle Nobrega, who is a sport development officer at the Ministry of Sport. Come out and show your talent. You get an opportunity at the end of it all to showcase your talent at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, the mecca of track and field in Trinidad and Tobago this September. That's all for now. On behalf of Hema Ramkissoon and all of our backroom staff, as well as our guests this morning, I'd like to thank you for joining us. Do have an enjoyable Friday and weekend, and be back with us on CNC3 from 6 a.m. on Monday morning.